accidents. Son of a gun, and I have made more mistakes than everybody put together. Over and over again. Over and over. Happy accidents, happy accidents, don't make mistakes. Happy accidents, happy accidents, they don't make mistakes. Happy accidents, happy accidents, don't make mistakes. Happy accidents, happy accidents, don't make mistakes. Don't get upset if something doesn't go right. Happy accidents, don't get upset. Happy accidents, don't get upset if something doesn't go right. Happy accidents.
Hey everybody. My mic mount is kind of falling apart. Gotta fix that. Oh, it's a Tuesday. That's what I hear, my own voice. Let's see if I hear the music. Yeah, there's music. Great. You guys ready for some dope ass shit? So I got some progress and I really want to talk about it, which is really cool. And there they are. Work on these. Will be fun and relaxing. We'll work on some of this as well. What am I pointing to and talking about? Well, let's just jump in. Alright, so we have our last stream. We had magma. We painted some goop. We got some great lava going on right here. Then we have the lava rocks. And I've been adding details. So, starts with putting yellow inside the deep cracks of the magma rock. So, as a catch-up for everybody, these started out primer black, then we did a dark gray and then a light gray coat on top of the black, being very careful to not get rid of that volcanic black feeling. Then I did a brown-red glow in all the cracks. I now added a yellow inner highlight, kind of that deep glow. This other one's a little bit further ahead. I've already put orange on top of it. So it has a kind of a bright glow feeling. So something I've now, once I painted the yellow and the orange on this one piece, I noticed I was getting stuck on cracks of the foam that felt like rock and not lava or magma. So what I ended up doing, and I did this to all of them, is after the yellow coat, is I used my glue, not necessarily Mod Podge, but the glue, to really smooth out. Let's see if I can get a good image. How close can I get? Smooth out where the lava would be on the inside. Let's see if there's a better one. This might be a better spot. And I really wanted to smooth it out so that way when I paint on it, the flow of magma looks smoother than just painting on rock. And so I'm going to add the orange glow on top of this, where the yellow is. Let that dry. After that, put Mod Podge on top of that to give it a glossy expression. I don't think I need to put black on top of that, but we'll see what the feeling is once we're that far. This is the first time I'm doing something aesthetically like this, and you can see that this starts to look really cool. But if I swap out that, stay there. If I swap out that top yellow for the orange, you can see how the orange needs to happen after this yellow, and then maybe a hint of yellow on top of the orange, just maybe. The yellow is very striking, so I want to keep it there. Kobe. But it needs orange on top of it first. So that's the magma rocks. Let's put them right here. Then let's talk desert. We all want different rocks for different terrains. We want to put something on the table that feels like we're in a different place. It's why I like doing these different style rocks, is it really makes it feel like a new place, even though they're very similar objects. So here are my deserts. And we started with a mustard yellow, desert yellow around everything. I then took a orange and attacked the bottom to give it a gradient look. And then I highlighted it with elven flesh, or just an off yellow. And then at the very top, I've highlighted with a very bright arid earth. And it has a very warm desert feeling. And they're basically the same size and shape, more or less, as the magma pieces. And the point of that is, it looks like a nice set, which is aesthetically pleasing. But as a DM, when I'm thinking about my terrain pieces, my big rocks, I know which ones there are. There's the big one, there's a medium one, and there's a couple small ones. And I can put that always in the same place. And it's just new skin, new texture. Then we have the Arctic rocks. I don't know if they're finished. They're very close though. So these were primed black, then dark blue, a light blue, and then even lighter blue as a top highlight. And then I have a white water-based foam safe spray, and I sprayed that on the top to give it more of snow covered. It's not as, highlighted as, let's say, the gray on the black for the magma, or the light arid on the dust. You can see the highlight of the grains. We don't get that much on the snow, which I think is okay because it's a blanket of snow. I do think one more step I would like to do to this one is similar to what I've been doing to my dungeon stairs and bridges, is take a watered down dark blue and attack the bottom to give it a gradient look similar to the desert with the orange. That looks so good. And again, same size pieces. Now, this is something I finished last night. I started with black, and then I gave it a watered down dark brown. Then I highlighted it light brown, and then I put patches of moldy green. Is my microphone more in focus than my face? Probably. And then I started attacking with a lot of gray. And I got, you know, your classic gray rock. And there are the occasional hints of brown. I don't know if the camera can see it. Hints of brown between the gray. And then at the right angles, right here. You can see it roughly around here. Let me bring it in. You can see there is some hint of green. Very barely. But the point is, it's underneath the gray is brown and green. So there's like life and nature hidden underneath. Which is great. These are perfect for underground. I can use these to stack underneath ice. Probably stack underneath magma if I want it taller. Desert, sure, why not? It doesn't look aesthetically pleasing, but it's still more rocks. Which is great. I think the set is nearly complete. The magma one is the most complicated one because I'm trying to do something unique. I think the next step, if I wanted to make the set even cooler, is make so many more of these little ones and just stack them and glue them to get 2? I think 3 stacks would be fine. So that would be 15 feet tall, you know, rock pillars. And I'd probably make 3 per terrain. See that? It feels very cumbersome, so I don't want to do it right now. But, you know, 3 pillars, 3 circles per pillar. That's 9 little guys I gotta make and paint. Which I don't have a problem with, but it's just not the priority. So I'll have that as on the to-do list of like the next thing to add. And it's great. It's just the same thing. You know, the same circle that I did originally, and I cut that out. I then will do the side work on each one individually, so it's a little bit more random. And then glue them all together. And maybe the top and bottom will have magnets, so I can make one massive pillar if I wanted to. Yeah, I like this. You should use magnets instead of glue so you can change them around for different size pillars. I think gluing 3 pieces together, so I always have 3 stacks or a stack of 3, makes the most sense to me. And then have magnets on those stacks so I can make 2 6s or 1 what would that be, 9? No, it'd be 4, it'd be 12. A 1 12er, 2 6s, right? Or a 9 and a 3. I think that's fine. Because I don't have that much space, so because I want to probably put some trees on the map, maybe a house. or a cave entrance or something like that. I've learned my lesson from my previous rock adventure that I don't want to put magnets in everything, especially the big ones. So, back to the magma and trying to paint all those little yellow spots orange. We're going to work on that today. The house floors are no longer black, they are brown. I did the same watered down dark brown on the whole thing to get the brown to soak in between the cracks. And then I did a dry dark brown pass just on the wood. I can see a subtle difference. I don't know if the camera will. Because again, just like these gray rocks, there should be a hint of brown under the gray. Look how serious Mike looks without glasses. I don't know where my glasses are right now. Snape attacked them last night while I was in bed, and I don't know where I put them. Let me grab some water. For the house walls, I have one window wall, or two of them, same thing. But that's what the windows will look like on the small walls. The bigger walls, I thought about going again with the diagonal one, but honestly, I might not do it just to save myself some time. I'm still thinking about it. And then the fourth wall doesn't have anything on it yet because I'm still waiting for the doors. And then we have triangle top that goes right up here. Well, there would be a log piece right here, so it'd be one up. For the house construction, once the doors are on, because it'll be easier to glue and make sure everything that looks good on that. Once the doors are on, I can glue all four walls together and then put the top log that goes around them, so I can put the triangle pieces on. Once that's set, I will then put magnets into the corner pieces underneath. And then once that is set, I can line up those magnets with the floor and know exactly where the magnet needs to be on the floor. Brian Dixon, it's a Smurf village. It really is. So I don't want to go too much farther with the floors, or at least the rocks, because I'm just going to have to repaint over the magnet again. So I'd rather just wait. I can still work on the wooden floors and get it to look like, or better than, the prototype. Brian stole my glasses. I knew it. I'd have known it. God. Alright, so what I want to work on is finishing up these lava rocks. Get them done. put them to the side, and they're ready for Dante's Peak. And then really the biggest thing to work on is, I think the houses. The houses in the cabin. Is there anything else? No, those are like the next priority to make sure I get everything done in time for Dante's Peak. There's probably a couple other things on the list, but I can't remember those. All right, so heck yeah. So I'm gonna assume this is fine. There's some spots I need to paint on this, so we got some orange. And then we're gonna put orange on the rest. So for those who are just coming in or are late, since I talked about this at the top, something I did was I used my glue to smooth out the inside so it's not as rocky as it is on the outside. So that way the painting of the magma is more liquidy. That's a scientific word. Liquidy. And then I spread the orange out to be a little bit of a brighter glow on top of the dark brown red. Thank you for double checking that. That's really important. Twin, what is up? I also, guys, in the last week, I think I've written 1 to 2 videos every day. But I can't shoot any of them because my hard drive's full. So I gotta finish editing the ones that I've already shot before I can shoot the ones that I'm excitingly writing. Enthusiastically writing. You can just feel it on the brush, the difference from the smooth glued texture over the rough foam rock texture. Super satisfying. That versus this. So the orange looks way better right now. I do think like little highlights of yellow will be added just to give that bright spot, but that's not yet. Let's get you guys a little bit closer in the right way. Ooh, that's way better. Do you delete the raw footage after you finish the video? I do. And then I back up the video. You know, in today's world, it's not like back in the day when the raw footage was, you know, the raw footage is not worth that much. It's not like, oh, the raw footage of Blade Runner. How much storage do you have? In my laptop, I have 8 terabytes. But between the... Come here, little camera. But between the talking videos and the D&D games, the D&D games take up a lot of space. And then I have my sound effects and music folder, which takes up, I think, around 200 gigs. And then my backup drive is a rated storage of around like 60 or 80 terabytes. Which has currently also my raw footage for Curse of Amity Island. But once Curse of Amity Island's out, I'm going to delete all the raw footage from that and just keep the master exports. And that'll help that storage go a long way. It is and it isn't excessive for sound effects. I got a lot of different sounds. So there's, in the organization of sound effects, we have the ambient soundtracks, which can take about 20 to 30 minutes in length. So that just eats up space, but it's less looped stuff. I have action sound effects, I have monsters and creatures, I have medieval stuff, I have sci-fi stuff, I have weapons stuff. I have video game related stuff. So if I ever want to pull from a video game sound effect, I can do that. And then the music list is pretty excessive, because there is score music and then there is downloaded music, as in like epidemic music, which can be used both for storytelling and then talking heads, which is a different type of music. No, don't worry about that, guys. Storage that we have is good. It is the onboard, and it's just a process, because I don't have, like an active server to connect to everything. We have a backup rated server for, not really a server, it's just a backup RAID for master files, master exports, raw footage as a backup, and important assets. Then I have also like 14 terabyte hard drives that have backed up master footage as well. It's got pretty orange. Then I have the 8 terabytes on the laptop, which like 6 terabytes of it is used by Amity Island. So it's solely which is the whole point of having all that data space. That data space. But something I have been doing, is it around here? Here it is these are the days of the months for 2024 that I've been prepping all the talking videos for. The first check marks. See, you can even see the first check marks. There we go. The first check marks are written. Second one is recorded. Third one is edited. And then I check these little circles off if they are uploaded and scheduled. From April to November, the plan is 2 to 3 videos every other week, basically. January to March, my hope is to bust out 1 video per week, and December as well, 1 video per week. So my hope is that at the top of the year, I can have the gears moving really hardcore. And that's one of the reasons why, I'm writing and shooting and editing so much right now versus entirely having my focus on Amity Island, is to just have that done for next year. And then my focus can be on editing the shows and freelance work. Which the client's hard drive just showed up, so I gotta get on that too. So it's all good. You guys are helping so much. Like, a big part of what you guys support with is saving up for anything that's needed for the games right now. And this big boy. And if you remember, 2024, the plan is to bust out a lot of games. This is one of those spots where the glue really helped me, because there's just this hole in the rock, and having the glue go in to smooth it out and liquefy the cracks for the magma, it really helped smooth that out. I appreciate that. I think you guys are going to enjoy some of the videos that not are only scheduled to come out at the top of the year, but the ones I'm writing right now, which are going into the middle and the end of next year. Oh yeah. That's big boy planning right there. And then patrons get early access, what is it? Like a month ahead of time or something like that? Look at that lava. It's so hot. It's a weird video game sandwich. This one's hard to show because it's so dang big. Also, hey Sneaky. Also, I mentioned this in the Discord. I have a couple minis that I painted a long time ago, such as the very first like ruined hut. I'll go grab it in a second, and the Wizard's Tower for Furhaven, and even the barns, which were painted on stream. I'm planning on getting rid of them. One of the suggestions in the Discord was to have an auction. I don't know. But yeah, probably do a giveaway for those, since they haven't been played with in a long time, and I gotta make more room for the things I'm building now. And I'd rather see them go to a home than the dump. That's a really hard angle. Can we get in there? Oops. the minis that I painted for them, as in the wizard tower, the barn and house, which are the same model but cut in half, and an older ruined shack that I painted. It's like one of the first things I ever painted. I need to get rid of them, and a suggestion on the Discord was to do an auction. Oop, there's another yellow spot. So rather than toss them out, give them a home with people that are interested in using them. The music is audible. Sorry. The music is a mix of tavern tracks. I don't know which one's at this. No, it's not the tavern track. It's the heroic track. The heroic track I made a while ago by mixing different source music that's licensable. So I have Epidemic in there. I think there's like 1 or 2 Critical Roles in there. And then there is Michael. How do I say his last name? Michael Felfy? No. Michael Stelfy Studios? No. How do I say it? Michael Gelfie Studios. Hall of Fame. You really think I'm that good? I don't know, guys. There we go. The last yellow on this piece. Yeah, so for all the music is whitelisted for the channel and downloaded, and typically I take the ones that have a theme and I re-edit them together to make a bigger track with different music tied together, and that's like the heroic theme, the somber theme, undead monsters, giant monsters, faction combat. Look at that. That's coming off really well. So that's just the beginning, because we still need to put yellow back in there. Grit. That's a much better start. So the whole reason the yellow had to be on there first was to make sure that the center of it is bright versus dark. I think that worked. We have a little bit of dark red and light orange now being the glow. And now I have to put Mod Podge on the cracks to give it a gloss effect. Or should I just start with some yellow in there? No, I need to just paint some yellow in there. That's what makes sense. Yeah, it breaks my heart too. That's why I want to avoid it. That's my drinking cup. Not my paint water cup. Let's start with this one. What we want to do is very lightly give it some yellow. If it doesn't work, I can brush it off or paint over it and really get a different feeling as we go. Very lightly. Nothing too strong. Let's see. Let's show you on the nice camera. You can see it's very subtle compared to the big old mustard splot that was there before. Let's see, what's another spot that the shadows don't mess with your eyes? In there. So I'll touch up that spot so you can see it better. Let's go to the GoPro. Try to find the right way. I guess this is the best spot. Let's give you the macro lens. You are. So just orange. Okay. And then orange with a little yellow. No, everything I painted, the shelves are still there. It's all organized differently now. That was a fun little intro and outro that I made. I might make another. Trying to touch it very carefully so that way the waves of the brush look like waves of the lava. Oops. Cool. I think that feels good. Let's see the shadow. You can see a little bit of the glow of the yellow inside. I think if I was to... You know, I don't even know how I would do this with LEDs, but if I knew how to, I think that'd be cool too. I put it next to the lava goop. It does feel like they are part of the same piece. So, solid. That's a win. Jason, what is this? These are tabletop rocks. I'm currently painting magma style rocks for my games. So that way, terrain wise, the rocks blend in with like a volcano. And then I have gray rocks, frozen rocks, and desert rocks. And right now we are painting in the very small details of the magma itself between the rocks. Could probably make this into a cool map. I didn't notice this one actually kind of just goes around the whole thing. Pretty cool. The glue that I used to smooth out and liquefy the inside of the rock has really helped the painting of this yellow. It's great. Oh yeah, D&D is going to be the first place it's going to be used. It's going to go great with my magma map, like base terrain too. Does the lava floors create any effects to the players when they walk on it? Not on the black spot, but if they're going to stand right next to the side of it, they'll probably take like a D4 of fire damage or a D6. Probably a D4, so that way, you know, if they come up next to it, start of their turn, if they're standing next to it, they take a damage. But if they get up there and they're just using it to travel to the top, probably no damage. Maybe 1 point of damage, the most minimal amount. Just be like, remember, it's hot, but I'm not going to de-incentivize you from getting near it. Now, if they walk on top of this guy, though, that's going to burn. There we go. It's such subtle detail of just letting the brush not completely cover the orange, so it looks like flowing magma inside the rock. Look at that angle. Look at that angle. It looks so good. Does it look better on the main cam? Oh, the shadow. I mean, to be honest, this looks dope. Oh, yeah. Pushing enemies into it. Oh, guys. Remember how I said making stacked pillars would look cool? Guys, making stacked magma pillars looks cool. That'd be so dope. I might have to make one pillar just for Dante's Peak. Ooh, stick their swords in it, get the fire effect. Yep, that's cool. So this is a little deep hole right here, so I'm gonna fill that with yellow to be very bright. It almost looks like it's just a puddle of dried magma, like a lava chocolate muffin or a lava chocolate cupcake where the inside is liquefied and hollow, but the outside is a nice hard shell. That's what I feel like this is, but literal lava. So it's like you don't want the giant to stand on these. It might break and pop them. Climbing the pillar would suck. The physics of a magma pillar would be that it's actually flowing upward like a geyser. And it's just so consistently flowing, kind of like the lava in Hawaii, that it's just drying out and cooling at different spots. I once walked over a volcano in Iceland a few months after it had erupted. It was safe to walk on, but you could feel the heartbeat, feel the heart through your boots, or the heat through your boots. Why am I reading heart? Dyslexia. I remember in Guatemala when I was at the base of the volcano that just erupted like months ago. It's the most active volcano in the world. It rumbled. Yeah, true fear. Insignificant. That's what I was right in that moment. My wants, my desires, none of it mattered. The volcano rumbled. Ooh, too much yellow. Easy. Easy patchwork. There we go. Oh, that feels so good. Look at that, guys. It's like true evil. Ah, that looks so good. It looks so good, guys. Let's see what it looks like on the good camera with the top lighting. Might be too dark. Oh, man, some gritty looking rocks. Oh, that's some Mordor stuff. Ooh, yeah. Oh, look at that angle. So good. So satisfying. Man, today's a nice day. Got another little pocket that I need to fill. There we go. It's hard to paint this one on camera. That turned out nice. Okay. You are also warned not to leave the path because 10 meters from the path you could sink into the ground. It's terrifying. Can't remember where it was that I heard it, but one DM basically ruled where the lava basically had fire damage, but also had acid-like effects. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like fire damage for proximity. Well, here's the thing. If you want to get really gritty with lava, this is what you do. It has an AoE effect, touch effect. It has 2 AoE effects and a touch effect. So the wider one, so let's just use this little guy as our example. And this mini right here. Let's say within this about 20 feet away, so about 4 inches away from the magma. You have to make a Constitution saving throw or else you'll take poison damage because of the fumes. Then if you're in 5 feet range, 10 to 5 feet, right? We could just do 10 feet. You take 1 point of fire damage or 1d4, something super small. If you get up here, you don't have to deal with the fire damage at all, just because of how the rocks are set up. Then, if you, at 5 feet, if you touch it, you take acid damage. Probably like a 1d4, and maybe a -1 on your AC, because it melts some of your armor. if you touch it with your sword, like you're fighting another monster next to it and you roll a critical fail, your sword can touch it, and you might get a -1 on attacks. So you could run the crunchy, gritty lava, something similar to that, which is not that bad of an idea. But if you do that, you need safe spaces. So like, I think, just thinking of it right now, touching it, acid damage. 5 feet away from it, fire damage. 10 feet away from it, 10 to 15, I would do poison damage. So if you want to get up there, you're going to have to deal with the damage as you enter the space. If you are having to travel between 2 spots, you're going to take some damage. And it could be a tight fit, which means it's going to be poison and acid, poison and fire. It can be a really tight fit where it needs to be a dexterity saving throw to get through without touching it. It could be a wide one where it's only poison. Inside is the disintegration effect. I mean, how many times does a group of adventurers go into a volcano or combat in magma? Very few. Because it's a dumb choice. So when it happens, you kind of want to think about all the cool ways to motivate that. Like, it's a dumb choice. We don't want to go in there. But also, if you have walk on water, you would probably ignore all the acid damage and probably half the fire damage, because walk on water affects lava as well. I would probably be taking a look at the map and go, what have I done? How did I end up here? What were the choices in my life that I really, really chose poorly that it made me end up in the middle of a volcano? Guys, it looks so good. It's terrifying. Oh, that could use some more yellow in there. Yeah, I'm happy with this. There we go. That reads better. Doesn't need to be a naked woman. It could be a child. It could be a baby. Would you let a baby burn in a volcano? Sick, guys. Oh man, look at that shot. It's terrifying and beautiful. It probably would be Jordy. It's so sick. It's just painted colors and it provokes such an interesting image and like emotion. Ah. So now that we have a lot of terrain. Oh man, there's some cool stuff going on in my hands. Man, guys, these are so satisfying to look at. And they're all basically the same with like small variations because it's like all chopped up to make the texture. Looks so good just looking at it. Alright, it is 2 o'clock. How long have I been streaming? I started at just before 1. Okay. So, what I want to do is paint on these woods and get them to look very pretty. Got a handful of colors over here. Yeah, I got plenty of oak brown. Let's use that as the first layer. Kalima. Clean off some of my brushes. right. So, for the wood, we want to go across the grid. It's not that different as it currently is, but it is less chocolatey. You can definitely see the brown difference now in the wood. Guys, you need to like and subscribe. Please make sure you do that. It helps the stream and the videos and the games, and makes sure that you don't miss out on my Tuesday live streams and occasional Sunday streams. You know, Nightbot, I never got him out of the box after we moved, so I gotta just, you know, pull him out, recharge him, get the dust taken off, you know. looking good. Alright, so we got the oak grass. We don't need this one. I guess the last one is beige. I don't think the next one's latte though. Here we go. The next one is nutmeg. Oh, she still lurks in chat. She's just busy right now. There we go. Wood's coming to life. Make a suggestion for the campaign videos. I think a short recap at the start of episodes would be a big improvement. So, I've gone back and forth on this. I would be fine with doing recaps if they were easier to do. They are actually more complicated and harder to do. In the first few episodes, I committed to doing them. But I think what will do better than adding recaps, personally, is because it's hard to just take a chunk from one timeline, cut that out, and drag it over. It's really tough. Like, it sounds simple, but then to make it actually functional is hard. I have some ways I want to experiment with making it easier. And I've done a little bit of it, so I'm working on it. Like, one of the ways that I'm thinking about doing it is just doing VO. Because if it was audio only, it'd be super easy. We'll see. In the upcoming episodes, I think there are opportunities for me to experiment with the way that I'm thinking about doing it in my head. It might just be VO over black, and that might be just enough of what it needs. A recap can help, but recaps also hurt the video. It's kind of a mixed bag. So I just gotta find the right way of doing it that is satisfying, cool, and easy. Which I have ideas. I'm working on these prelude, like audio only preludes, which are really freaking cool, which is training my brain on how to do the thing that I'm thinking of. So no, yeah, it's a mixed thing. Yeah, like a 30-second VO. Yeah. And the thing that here's an obstacle that gets in the way of just like, I want to do an intro that has a recap, right? The hard part is, okay, I have the episode edited. Now I have to do this before I release, or I have to do this before I edit, right? And so and then how am I going to do it? So doing tests on like some of the editing that I'm doing on like little preludes for the campaigns and adventures, which are really cool. They have the sound effects, the ambience, and it really sets the mood for the adventure. And I'm making these to help new viewers. Doing those is training my brain on how to do it. So when it comes to, I got to make an intro for this or a recap for this, it is far easier because I understand the steps on how to do it. Because if you don't know the steps, everything is daunting and overwhelming and you just skip it to get to the next thing. These are looking good, guys. Alright, now I believe I add latte. But something I want to move more into is editing the adventure completely before starting to release, because right now it is, I'm doing weekly. And the whole point of me shooting and editing videos, talking videos for next year, is to not be doing it every week. To share the most important ideas that I think are relevant throughout the year, set those to go, and then when I have an idea that pops up, I can make that in the moment. For the games, they need to follow a similar structure. So Amity is, one of many steps towards the best version that I can make campaigns. And the recaps is one thing to learn and nail and lock in before the end of the campaign. Yeah, the campaign suffers from growing pains in figuring that out, but you can't learn if you don't do it. So hopefully I figure out the best method of doing it before I start editing and releasing the one-shots, and especially before Dante's Peak. And one thing I've noticed when shooting and editing videos without a release schedule, in the sense of like getting ahead, the pressure of obstacles, like I was saying, goes away. Because it's like, what will make this better? Before we start releasing, what will make this better? And I'm able to ask that question without as much pressure. That's why it's out of focus, guys. I'm sorry. That's some nice looking wood. It's a lot of layers. Alright, and then finally, just subtle amounts of pecan beige. Perfect. That's the exact feeling I want you to have. There you go. So the beige I only put on where the nails are, which gives it a very variant looking kind of thing, versus just brown, right? With a little bit of scatter light brown. This is a little bit more defined. And most of these colors are very much the same as what I did for my wooden scaffolds. So this weekend, no, it's only Tuesday, but this coming weekend, I'll probably spend most of my time getting files over from YouTube membership to Patreon. There we go, guys. I got the wood done. Looks great. See what it looks like on the nice camera. Man, these really do work well if you want to make like a multi-room place, like tiles. These will do just fine. Ugh. Great. The wood for the... I'm super far away from the mic. How dare I sit back? Yeah, so we got 2 pieces of floor for houses done as much as can be done before magnets. Good. It's all set. I'm happy with the look. Let's water that brush. We got the rocks done, which is super cool. Yeah, they're just fine. I think the coolest thing to do would be make like a handful of pillars for each one. I want to make pillars for the bricked dungeon set that look very similar to the pillars that are holding up the stairs and the pillars that are holding up the bridges. And make a bunch of them, actually. That's a project. I need to make sure all the things for Dante Peak is done first. But making those stone pillars will be nice too. So I'm not just stuck with the massive giant pillars. Right? These things are huge. They're great for ancient things, but they definitely were made by larger giant creatures. And I want to repaint this to be more obsidian with gold lining all the cracks. We did that once as like a fun paint thing on the stream, and now that I've sat with it, I want these to look that way because that's such a cool look. Dante's Peak. I should make lava pillars out of these little circles. I should cut a handful of them. Prep them. And do as much as I can off stream just to get it done. That's pretty easy. I think tonight before bed, I could probably trace them out if I have enough of the thick foam. I don't have to order more foam. Cut out the circles. Trace the circles onto the foam and cut them out on the hot wire cutter and be good. I do, now that I'm this far with the rocks, I would like to actually on Photoshop give you guys like tracers and templates so you can cut these out and you have similar shaped rocks, and it walks you through those steps to make rocks structurally that look like this. And then you just, I'll make another PDF that talks about the painting. And then you guys can post sick photos of rocks on the Discord. Let's see what else. Dante's Peak. I need to make my mine shaft. That's right, I have to make the mine shaft. Oh, yay. I don't have a mine shaft entrance, which would be nice to have, whether it's Dante's Peak or another game. And then I would use the same structure technique for these rocks as I would for the rocks in the mine shaft, but then I would also use the wood structures that I made for my pallets and platforms, scaffolding. Use that same process to make those wood, to kind of make wood fences on the rock to give the sense of a mine shaft. You need coffee. I got coffee. So, mine shaft entrance, some mine walls. I think that'll be more than enough for a mine. Yeah, I just gotta... Probably like 4. 4 might not be enough. 6 might be right. Depends on how big I make them. If I make them small, 6 will be right. And then I gotta build these houses. What else is needed? Okay. No. Allie says she needs a lot of health potions because she's sick. She's been in bed all day. She's feeling terrible. So, to-do list. Your scaffolds with some rocks around it could be a mineshaft entrance. It's kind of what it's going to end up looking like, but I just want to build it onto a rock wall. Yeah, I think mineshaft entrance, mineshaft walls, 2 pillars. Let's do 2 pillars, right? 2 lava pillars. I think that'll be fine. What else? Mineshaft entrance, mineshaft walls, lava pillars, houses, and I just need to check in on my friend to see if the door is ready. And then we can just bust through those houses. Do I have a minecart? No, there wouldn't. I have a wagon, which would be what would use. I thought about this. Rather than minecarts, I think, unless you go deep into like the Underdark and Dwarven cores, a simple mine would just have workers pull a wagon. Why spend the resources building tracks? Shaft entrance, shaft walls, 2 pillars, which we don't need. The pillars don't need to happen. So I won't put them at the top of the list. And then houses. No. But now everyone knows why you're not lurking. It's because you're sick. Allie didn't look well on the last released session either. Yeah, so we learned that Allie is allergic to our cats. And we were recording pretty late in the day, so she's also tired on some of the games. And so now that she takes Flonase before the games, and we now try to record the games earlier in the day so she has more energy. And that pretty much fixes it. How about the minecart track at the entrance? That works well for perspective. It does. Top of the list should be a cup of tea for Allie. That is on top of the list, actually. Yeah, I'm trying to like think of all the possible things that are needed for... Oh, the cabin! This is the cabin. It should be the size, right? Yeah. So each piece is the size of one of these. And it's just meant to be a hunting lodge or mountain cabin. Which aesthetically will be different, and it's much larger. It's 3 times the size. So it's meant to be a big piece of property. And ideally I can make it a second story, so there'd be a second floor like right here, which gives reason to have, or it might just be here. So this is the open space, and then this is double decked. Something like that. This needs to get made. Out of sight, out of mind. Murphy. A canary in a cage? I could make a canary in a cage. Just need some birds. Cabin. 2 houses. Sorry. Cabin. 3 houses. Mineshaft entrance, mineshaft walls. Lava pillars, if I get to them. Because they're not needed. And they would be more for aesthetic. Yeah, I think that's doable. Yeah. I think so. Because what's going to be nice about the mining walls is I have all the scaffolding, and the scaffolding can function as second levels for the mine. But down below, if you have some nice like mine shaft walls, you kind of say, oh, there's a first floor too, especially in the scatter terrain perspective. It's pretty dope, guys. Should I make another goop? Let's think about this for a second. Make a green goop. I might need to do that too. Okay. So let's write all these down versus trusting my memory. Cabin. 3 houses. Mine entrance. Mine walls. Let's do 6 walls at the entrance. The 3 houses are 2 proper and 1 not shack. Shack's not the right word. Farm. Cottage. Let's try that. Cottage is not the right word. Farm hut. It's a lower poverty house. cabin, we have 2 floors, 2 floor pieces, plus second floor. It's not a shed. It's, you know, the houses, old houses that were, rather than having sidewall, it's like an old cabin lodge where you don't actually build up a whole wall. It's just the roof. Second floor. Paint. And, oh man, the walls on the cabin are going to be a pain in the butt. Custom wooden walls. I might dedicate the whole next stream just to the cabin. Mine entrance. Wood and large rocks. Yeah, just to do the mine shaft, I'm going to have to order more foam. Absolutely. Thick foam. Wood fence on rocks. That's what's going to be the mine walls, and that makes sense. A Dutch barn? Yeah, basically a Dutch barn. Cool. Door and walls. I thought about doing thatched roof, but I might not do a thatched roof yet. Dante's Peak might just have wooden roofs for the game, and then in the future I'll come up with some thatched ideas. Because just entering thatch is a whole nother game. Cool. Okay, goop. If I did a green goop, it would be for like the lake, the poisonous lake, or the acid lake. Granny's gotta die somehow, you guys. Let's put it on the list to see if I get to it. Two green goops. Put the word small next to. I feel like painting all the stuff is the easiest part. It's the assembly that is the scariest stuff. I'm like looking around, trying to motivate any thoughts that I'm forgetting. Tell Allie to knock it off. Is 3x3 too small for what I'm thinking of? No, because that'll work for... Yeah, just put... the side. Yeah. Okay. 3x3 stone floors. How many? One, two. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. Danger, hazard, mine entrance signs. Gosh, I'm like really paranoid that I'm forgetting something. Day's last incident post. Technically, I need a bridge. But I'm not building a bridge today. I can use the scaffolds as a bridge, and that'll do. Not the prettiest thing, but it's also a big-ass river. So the scaffold makes a lot of sense. You remember when you did the episode? That's pretty funny. Yep, I think that's about it. Let's put the lava pillars on the list to see if I can get to them. Small 2, so that's 6 pieces. Cool. Got the list. A bell. Guys. Cabin, 3 houses, 2 proper, 1 farm hut, mine entrance, mine walls, 6 of them, which are basically wooden fences on rocks, 2 green goops if I can get to them, 2 lava pillars if I can get to them, and potentially some stone floors. That makes me feel good.
Me too, because he found me on accident. Not I'm glad you're all in too.
You're the goats. Goodbye, baby. Okay. So we got the to-do list. I think we could bust out a lot of that by New Year's. Getting most of that done this month would be the goal. It just comes down to ordering some more foam and cutting a lot off stream. So in my evenings, I usually like to do my cutting so I can cut that all week. And then this weekend, I will do transferring stuff, series and videos from YouTube membership to Patreon. And then I will have to finish editing the talking videos that are shot. Then I need to shoot more and edit once you're done filming. And then I also need to edit the next 2 episodes for Curse of Amity Island. So that's my to-do list, guys. Consider supporting me on Patreon. Oh. Oh, and I have to edit my freelance projects. I'm gonna go eat and work on my client work. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you have a great good afternoon, evening, and of course, good night.
Good night. Good night. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good night.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Good morning! Good morning!
Good night.
Here's the note. See ya. See ya. See ya. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Good morning! See ya. Good morning!
Good night.
Here's the note. See ya. See ya. See ya. Good afternoon, good evening.